everyone, Tasha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm creating an Easter card using items from Kat Scrappiness. For the stamp sets, I'm going to be using the new Happy Days stamp set, and I'll be using the little bunny with the Easter eggs. And for the greeting, I'm using the Hippity Hoppity Sentiments clear stamp set. This one has so many greetings to choose from. I'll be using Happy Easter. For the paper, I'm using this pretty blue from the Glitter Galore paper pad and a piece of pattern paper from the Kat Scrappiness Bunny Hop 6x6 paper pad. And these are all double-sided. I'm using the one with these little light blue bows, and hopefully you can see that on camera. To begin the project, we're going to start by stamping our little bunny image. This center white card is cut at 2 3/4 by 4, and I'm just going to stamp the bunny closer to the bottom but in the center of the card. I'm using black hybrid ink for the stamping since I'm going to be using Copic markers for the coloring. This is a great ink to use if you want a dark image and you don't want those alcohol markers to smear. And look how cute he is with his little Easter eggs. I'm coloring the bunny in gray tones, so I'm using 3 shades of Copic markers in cool grays. I started with the lightest gray. Then I went in with the mid-tone, and I'm just going around the edges and kind of pulling color towards the center. So I'm kind of outlining my little bunny. Once I was done with that mid-tone, I went in with the darkest shade of cool gray, and I just kind of made some fur details around the edges. You also can have some shadow details with this color, and it's all in that same color family, so everything blends really nicely together. After I was done with the gray, I went in with some pink for the bunny's cheeks, and then a dark neutral gray tone for the bunny nose, and then the bottom of his little foot. Next, I went in to color the eggs. You can color these all different colors. I decided to just use 3 shades of Copic markers. I went in with a blue, a really pretty deep pink color, and then kind of a teal shade or a dark teal green color. And I just love this color combination, but again, you could have each Easter egg be a different color. In addition, I used that teal to make some dots in the background. I'm going to ink blend some clouds in the background, but this way there's a little more detail. After the bunny was all colored, I'm moving on to making the little scene. I wanted it to look like the bunny was hopping on the ground, so I'm using some warm grays to make kind of like a ground underneath him. I'm going in with a dark shade of warm gray, and I'm making kind of random dots. I want it to look like a dirt road or ground outside. So I went in with the darkest shade. Again, I'm going in with a mid-tone color to kind of pull out some of that dark color. But I didn't want everything to be dark, and I wanted it to kind of look like rocks or just ground. So the 3 shades together gives it a nice look without it being too dark. After I was done with those 2 darker colors, I went in with the lightest shade of the warm gray that I'll be using and went over everything, blending everything together. Now it's time to add some grass. I did a very similar thing that I did with the ground where I'm going to use 3 shades. I went over that bottom area with the lightest shade of green, and then I started making some strokes from the bottom along the edge to kind of look like grass. This is real easy to do. It gives a nice grass detail, and it doesn't take much effort because you're just pulling the marker up. Once I had the first layer of all of the lightest color, I went in with the next mid-tone color. And I'm doing the same thing, except I'm not going to color that whole bottom area. I'm just making those grassy strokes that look like grass. And it kind of gives this look that you have all the different colors of grass because it's not just one color, but you could have it one color if you want to. But I like this way that it looks like different layers of grass, so I made it darkest in front, so it's kind of a shadow, and then darker in the back. Once I was done with those two colors, I went in with the darkest shade of green, and I'm doing the same thing, just making those little grass looking details. And I think it looks really great with the three shades because then you have that bright green as a highlight. And this again is really easy to do, but I love the way it looks. Once I was done with those three colors, I went over everything again with the lightest shade of green, and this is just to blend those three colors together again. After I was done, I added some more warm gray to the edges and to add a shadow around the bunny and those little eggs. Next, it was time to color his little basket. I decided to go with warm tones of brown and some golden colors. I just thought they looked really good. It was kind of like a basket that you might see that's like a natural color, and I like that it has those bright Easter eggs around. So once I colored in with the tan and a golden color, I just added some dark brown for shadow. Now that we have our little scene coming together, I'm adding some clouds with a cloud stencil and some Distress Oxide ink in the color Savage Patina. And this shade of blue is so pretty. It's like a teal color and it's dark but not too dark. It's just beautiful on skies, and I love it with cloud stenciled backgrounds. So I went around, I didn't mask off my bunny, I just kind of placed the stencil so I would cover him up. And then once I'm done, I'm adding some white dots, a little details to the bunny and the grass. I do have those dots in the background that I use my teal marker before stenciling. This way I don't ruin my marker, and I have a little bit more detail in that background sky. I like the way it looks with those random dots. And again, I'm just going around the grass and adding some little white accents. This is easy to do with white gel pens or a paint pen. I'm using 2 sizes of gel pen. Once my whole scene was completed, it's time to do my sentiment. On my sample card, I did layer my sentiment with paper and put it in the center, but I thought for this one I would do something different, and I chose a different greeting from that same stamp set. So for this, I'm going to stamp Happy Easter with the same black ink directly onto the card. I stamped it several times because I wanted to make sure it was nice and dark, but it turned out perfect, and I think this size of a greeting works great with the bunny and the size of this center card. Now that everything is all colored up, I'm using some glue runner just to attach some paper layers. I'm going to mat the center card with a light purple cardstock. I just love that little pop of purple. And then I'm going to start layering my pattern paper onto that pretty glitter paper. Now this glitter paper isn't like normal glitter paper where you have kind of that rough feeling glitter, or you can kind of see that glitter. This is a pattern paper that looks like glitter paper. It's really neat, and I love the way it looks. After I was done, I added one more piece of that same lavender or light purple cardstock to the bottom layer, and then I'm just attaching that center card. And you see how easy it is. Just having those extra layers makes everything just come together so nicely. And lastly, I'm going to attach everything to a white card base, and this is just an A2 size card base cut out of heavyweight cardstock. So it's really simple to do, but I love the way it looks that the whole design is colored. So this is my project. I hope you guys enjoyed today's project and would give it a try. All the information will be listed in the description box below. Be sure to check out all the fun new Easter and spring items from Kat Scrappiness. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.